my audience for my informative speech on school shootings. Okay. Would you describe the world around you a safe place to live? From 2000 to 2012, there have been 31 school shootings since Columbine, and the rate of people killed by guns in the U.S. is 19.5 times higher than similar high-income countries in the world, according to ABC News. Going to school is an everyday thing for kids ages 4 to 18, and it's not fair to make kids go to school when they're possibly in danger of what others may do. Even after the age of 18, most of us decide to go on to school or a trade school. When all we're trying to do is get our degrees and someone decides to show up to school with a gun and shoot innocent people, this isn't fair. We need to care about this topic because it's becoming a problem in not only the world, U.S., but the world. There shouldn't be one person who's terrified of someone bringing a gun to school. We need to be aware, and we need to stop such violence in the world. 3 major school shootings that happened in the U.S. are the Columbine High School shooting, then fast-forwarding 8 years later to the Virginia Tech Institution shooting, and finally 5 years after that shooting occurred the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. First, I will talk about the Columbine High School shooting that occurred on April 20th, 1999. 2 teens named Eric Harris and Dylan Kelwood went on a shooting spree in Littleton, Colorado, killing 13 people and wounding more than 20 others before turning the guns on themselves. According to the article, I Survived the Columbine High School Shooting by Melissa Miller, written on Scholastic.com, she said, "As Herrick and Dylan turned around, I saw that they had guns. I still thought it was a prank. I figured the rifles had to be paintball guns. Eric and Dylan had no expressions on their faces. They showed no emotions, not anger, not hatred. Can you imagine being in Melissa's shoes that day? The crime was the worst high school shooting in U.S. history. What has been said that their motive was that they were bullied and were members of a group of social outcasts. But these speculations haven't been proven to be true. Even though this was the worst high school shooting in U.S. history, it wasn't the last." Next, I will talk about the Virginia Tech Institution shooting. On April 16, 2007, almost 8 years exactly to the Columbine shooting, occurred a school shooting at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. Swing Hugh Chu, a student at the school, shot a female freshman and male resident before entering a classroom building and locking several main doors and going room to room shooting people. After 10 minutes of the rampage, he committed suicide. This attack left 32 people dead and 17 wounded. In the article, A Survivor's Horror, I Saw Bullets Hit People's Body by Kevin Caruso, written on Virginia Tech's Massacre.com, he said, "I saw bullets hit people's body. There was blood everywhere. People in the class were passed out. I don't know, maybe shock from the pain. But I was one of 4 that made it out of that classroom. The rest were dead or injured. These are such tragedies. Imagine living the rest of your life with that scene in your head." This is again one of the deadliest shootings in U.S. history, but sadly it's not the last. My last school shooting I will talk about is Sandy Hook Elementary School. On December 14, 2012, occurred the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newton, Connecticut. A guy named Adam Lanza entered the school around 9 a.m. and went into 2 classrooms shooting 6 adults and 20 students, aged 6 and 7, who were all killed. He then turned the gun on himself. In the article written by Associated Press on September 29, 2013, on DailyMail.com, it said, "I know where the bad guy is. Parents reveal the terrible nightmares of Sandy Hook survivors." It was said that Rojas said his son, who is in therapy, has had to cope with vivid nightmares. His son does not talk much about the shooting, but he sometimes asks why. The family tries to be honest, telling him they don't know why. He also asks about his friends who were killed. This is terrible. Kids at such a young age went through this and now live with the nightmares and therapy. This was the second deadliest shooting in U.S. history, Virginia Tech being the first. As can be seen, school shootings throughout the years have increased since previous times. The Columbine shooting, the Virginia Tech shooting, and the Sandy Hook shooting each affected many people in the U.S. in so many ways. Innocent lives were killed in each of these shootings. Even though I only talked about 3, there have been so many shootings since Columbine. We really need a solution to this issue. The 3 school shootings I've talked about are major turning points in America to violence and what is needing to be done to prevent this from happening again. Overall, there have been too many school shootings and innocent kids and adults killed that we need a solution. If everyone comes together to find a solution, our country could be a better place.